This video is going to be how to load a game onto the Mod-8. And to do this, we're going to do something called load octal, which is the LDO command. And the game we're going to put in is Hangman, which is taken from Scelbi's first book of computer games for the 8008/8080. And as you can see here, we're starting to load in some data at address 01000, and this will go on until it hits the final address, which is shown in the top corner there. And then there's another part that's loaded at 014000, and I'll show you how that's done. All done on one tape. I mean, you can do this 2 tapes, but it's easier just to do it one. Here you can see the tape actually going through the system here as it's being read. It's quite a long amount of tape. This whole thing takes about 10 minutes to do, so we're going to speed it up. And as you can see, there's quite a lot of data that has to be put in here. It's a slow process because it's 110 baud, which, you know, if you remember your old modems and that, I remember when it was like 14400 was like really fast, and then we got to 56K was really fast, and that was what sort of the limit you could do. Okay, here's the second part. So now there's another part, and again we're going to do the load octal program, and there's your addresses, and this is Hangman part 2. And the reason this is in 2 pieces has to do with the way the memory is done on the Mod-8. So the first bank of 2K is taken up by ROM, and then there's a second bank is RAM, but there's a slice in the middle that the Monitor 8, which you could call its operating system. It's not exactly an operating system, but it will use a couple of, I think it's 256 bytes somewhere in the middle of that RAM. So we have to like go around that. So we've inserted some of the program before that piece and some of it afterwards. So that's why it's split. And you can see here it's just loading in the second half. Pretty soon we'll be done. Again, this takes actually 10 minutes in real time. And here's the last few lines. And there we go. Now what we're going to do is, now that it's done, I'm just going to look at some memory locations just to make sure that it actually was loaded in. This was actually the first run at loading this thing. So I'm going to just take a look at some locations in the high memory just to make sure that we actually had some data put in it. So this is the beginning of this particular second part of loading. That's the command to load or to display the octal. So the address at the beginning is the first 6 digits. It's in split octal, so if you look carefully, the first 3 digits could only go up to 377, and the second digits can only go up to 377. So it's not like a true octal. But actually in this case, since I'm using the 8008 processor, the first 3 digits won't even go that high because it can only access 16-bit. Now I'm going to look at some symbolic code at the very beginning. So here you see actual code. This is the very beginning of the program at 011000. And there you can see the assembly. And this is all built into the computer, which is actually way ahead of what was done for, say, the Altair and some later computers where it basically had almost no ROM at all, and everything had to be entered by hand through toggle switches. And it's just going to list a few lines until it hits a 000, so it actually won't reach the final address that I had typed up there. And 000 is a halt command. There's only one in this program actually, so if I type after that, it would list a very long program. And now we're going to run it. Let's see how we run it. So that would be an execute, and then we give it the starting address. And it's going to ask me a question. Yeah, I'm just going to pick a letter at random. Well, so I got a word that has 5 letters and starts with H. Nope, there's another U in it. And that little thing at the beginning where it says H dash, that's the beginning of the word Hangman. When it fills up with an exclamation, then we've launched the game. So quite clearly the word must be hello, so EN. And I've got something. And back then they didn't know how to spell very well, so they spelled congratulations, and it was weird. I can't even say that's an American spelling, I don't think. And here's another letter, and I think we're going to stop. We're out here.